Hello, my name is Margaret Orpello. Welcome to my capstone reflection video and intervention presentation. In this video, I will be discussing evidence-based practices that support my capstone project. I will also share how technology and government policies impacted this intervention. Lastly, I will share how this project has encouraged my own personal growth. Problem identification. Mental health was the subject of my capstone because I have experienced anxiety and depression for most of my life. Whether this was through a family member, myself, the impact of anxiety and depression has had on my life has been profound. According to Munir 2022, 20% of adults experience some form of anxiety every year. The persistent worry affects everyday life and the ability to complete even simple tasks. Depression often goes hand in hand with anxiety and can occur due to environmental factors or genetics. Chand 2023 emphasizes that people with first-degree relatives are 3 times as likely to develop depression. According to the National Library of Medicine in 2022, 20% of children ages 3 through 17 have some form of mental, emotional, or behavioral disorder in the United States. In the case of my patient, she has struggled with anxiety from the age of 5. Patient identification. For my capstone, I interviewed my younger sister, Rachel, who is 28 years old. Having known about her history with anxiety, the opportunity was relevant as she recently went through a breakup, which brought about a lot of her past trauma. This left her feeling anxious and depressed. It became apparent early on in the breakup that Rachel had become codependent on her girlfriend, and this unhealthy type of relationship pushed her away. Rousseau 2024 explains that childhood trauma often results in codependency, keeping the individuals on edge, expecting danger, and needing to excessively worry and control others to prevent rejection or loss. At 5 years old, Rachel experienced a traumatic loss of her sibling from a stillborn birth. It changed the dynamic of her family and created a hole in her life that she never dealt with. Around the same time, Rachel got sick with a stomach bug, and eventually the whole family got it. It appears there was a connection between the death and the stomach bug, which resulted in debilitating anxiety for Rachel. Although her parents tried to get her therapy early on, it didn't last, and she eventually needed to be homeschooled for a period of time due to extreme fear. In our first few sessions, we discussed immediate steps that Rachel could take to feel better. First, she bought a book on codependency to understand that the feelings she was experiencing were valid. Second, we found ways to release the sadness through movement, meditation, and self-reflection. And lastly, therapy, which would provide tools and the support that she needed. As time went on, some of these new habits stuck. We explored deeper into things that brought Rachel joy, such as ways that would create a distraction and form a new hobby. This new hobby would give her purpose other than focusing on the loss of her girlfriend. This is where my proposed intervention of music therapy began. Proposed intervention. Using a transformational leadership style backed by evidence-based practices, Rachel and I came up with SMART goals to use music therapy to combat her struggles with anxiety and depression. SMART goals consist of specific, measurable, achievable, realistic goals presented in a timely manner. Rachel responded best to the transformational leadership styles because it focused on motivation and strengths. Because some of the symptoms of depression can often include hopelessness and low self-esteem. So this encouragement gave her something to look forward to and helped her gain some of her self-worth back. Rachel also has experience with music as she took piano lessons most of her childhood. Something she always wanted to explore was guitar playing, so we made sure to add this to the list of SMART goals as well. Wang 2023 explains how music therapy has immense benefits. Studies show that it improves blood pressure and cognition, as well as reduces symptoms of anxiety and depression. By incorporating music with psychology and biology, music therapy connects sound elements like pitch and melody in conjunction with emotion, senses, and cognition. Some therapy involves actively playing instruments, while other forms are just listening to evoke memories or emotions. The connection between the therapist and the patient can be very comforting because the bond is strengthened through this practice. According to Malik and Russo, 2022, standard treatment for anxiety and depression, which includes medication and CBT or cognitive behavioral therapy, is not always easy for patients. Medications come with many negative side effects, and it is a lot of trial and error, whereas sound-based anxiety treatment is easy to use and cost-friendly. Rachel and I came up with some other ideas to help manage her daily symptoms while we searched for music therapists and talk therapists. By using the website BetterHelp, she was able to sign up for weekly cognitive behavioral therapy sessions to get a sense of how therapy would work for her. She committed to give therapy a try for 3 months to see if it helped, and we would continue our search for music options. Evidence and peer-reviewed literature resources. While providing support and education to Rachel, it was imperative that I provided her with evidence-backed information that was correctly sourced. By using summoned databases from Capella University and Google, I focused on domains such as .org, .gov, and .edu to keep information credible. I also made sure to only use sources that were created in the last 5 years, as this is most up to date. Additionally, I used government websites that focus on mental health, which were user-friendly, easily accessible, and listed many resources where individuals can seek further help. Technology. In a technological world, it is important to understand the impact technology has had on patients struggling with any condition. With the click of a few buttons, therapy services are now achievable through virtual sessions. According to the National Institute of Mental Health 2024, technology offers convenience, anonymity, consistency, 24 hours, just to name a few. It also provides an easier way for people to get their foot in the door of therapy in the comfort of their own home. Some people experience such strong anxiety that even the thought of leaving to go in person is debilitating, so telehealth allows a different approach. Telehealth also has improved collaboration between providers, making communication from primary doctors to referred specialists an easier transition of shared information. Belber 2023 states that telemedicine improved interprofessional care by encouraging self-management with patients and improving treatment compliance. Government policies. For mental health patients, the biggest contributing government policy change was the implementation of the Affordable Care Act. Prior to, those with mental health issues could be denied coverage. According to the National Alliance on Mental Illness 2023, the Affordable Care Act made health insurance accessible and prevented people from being overcharged thanks to Medicaid expansion. This expansion also made medication affordable, improved patient outcomes, and reduced hospital burden from patients utilizing regular services. As a baccalaureate prepared nurse, it is important to understand how these policies trickle into patient care. For example, some people with limited access might present with poor quality of life based on their social determinants of health. According to the Office of Disease Prevention and Health Promotion 2020, social determinants of health involve where a person lives, works, and habits that influences their health, how they function, and their quality of life. Some examples include housing, education, and access to healthy food and healthcare. For my capstone, my patient grew up in a middle-class household with a high-quality education system access to medical services, and a good support system from a loving family. Predictions and outcomes. From the moment I offered my sister the opportunity to be a part of the capstone, I knew she would be very receptive to the process. I was confident in her ability to overcome the challenges she was facing while learning new tools and habits that would bring her to where she wanted to go. With Rachel's background in music, I knew she would be excited to learn a way to combine her interest in music with the benefits of therapy. As predicted, after a few sessions, Rachel showed improvement very quickly and expressed relieved symptoms. Personal growth. This program has challenged me in ways I did not think possible after completing my associate's degree in nursing. I thought writing papers would be a simple task, as English was always my strongest subject in school. As I reflect now, feeling immense relief that this journey is over, I realize it is only one step completed, as I want to become a nurse practitioner. It has taken me 2 years to complete this program while working full-time and as a mother of a busy toddler. Finding the time to do research and write papers really tested my time management skills and showed me just how amazing I am at procrastinating. What I plan to bring to the next step is organization, better focus, and sticking to what priorities matter. I feel very confident now in my ability to quickly navigate research subjects, how to pick appropriate pieces of information relevant to the subject, and how to cite properly. The capstone project has been my favorite class thus far because the plan is to become a mental health nurse practitioner. I want to continue to help others work through the debilitating effects of anxiety and depression because those who do not experience it simply do not understand. I want my patients to feel like they are not alone and that I will always be a trusted resource who won't just prescribe medication and send them on their way. I would like to thank you for being a part of this journey as I close out this chapter of my life and express my gratitude towards your participation. Thank you.